She admired her roommate, how much she supported her and she guided her at the time of need and so on. She was a great help for her. And this is very important, especially for the students, to find the right roommate, because as-sahibu sahib can either guide you or mislead you. But when she noticed that she's depressed and sad, she tried to entertain her, and she confessed to her that she is obsessed with the masturbation and the evil habit of that sexual desire and so on. She seems to be addicted to it. And since this is taboo and it is haram, and it is not easy to declare that to any person, especially family members, I would say, number one, Zainab, next time when we ask, I would say somebody, I would not mention my name, nor the name of my roommate, because somehow somebody might find out. So it becomes like something in the record. It's not easy to erase. People do not forget things like that. So in the future, brothers and sisters, whenever there is a sensitive question like that, pertaining to anyone who may get to be known afterward, generalize your question. Say it's somebody who has this problem. Okay? Thank you, Sister Zainab, for your concern. Number two, you need a treatment. Both the treatment with regards to boosting your iman, knowing what you're doing is haram, and the proper treatment of how to eliminate this habit from your life, how to overcome this. I mentioned before to the boys, to the brothers who asked about this repeatedly, and I said, one advice is, do not stay alone. Do not live alone. Do not travel alone. Do not spend plenty of time alone by yourself. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, لا يسافرن أحدكم وحده ولا ينامن أو يبيتن وحده. When you are alone, you are an easy hunt for a shaitan. Like the stray sheep is an easy hunt for the wolf. Number two, a person only tends to do that when the iman level decreases. So as long as you keep the iman level up, it's very hard for the shaitan to convince you. So every time the shaitan comes to you to whisper to you, to make you think and reflect upon an image that you have seen or a porn site that you've been browsing or وَإِمَّا يَنْزَغَنَّكَ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ نَزْغٌ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ. Right away seek refuge with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Recite Quran. Get and make wudu. Make wudu, the shaitan will flee. It would be best if you can offer 2 rak'ahs. Then open the Quran and recite as much Quran as you can. Or make istighfar. Or simply put your sneakers on, step out and walk or jog. Or if you have an exercise room, do some physical exercise so that it will exhaust you. Most of those who are indulged into this are not into physical exercise. They're easy hunt also. So the treatment of the problem has 2 parallel ways. It's not only by giving the advices and increasing your iman. And no, there's a slot in your life which is not occupied. Do as much as you can of physical exercise. Occupy yourself by reading useful materials. And as you said, you Googled it. It is very important to know the medical danger and the side effects of having such, of practicing such an evil and bad practice, and getting used to it and addicting such thing. I'm glad she confessed to you and she sought your help. Every once in a while, when you find a useful material, an audio or video or written material, print it, copy it, and give it to her. We need to work on increasing the level of iman. Stay together as much as you can. Do not stay by yourself. If you know that whenever you are by yourself, the shaitan whispers to you, so defeat the shaitan by always keeping yourself in a good company. Maintain the regular prayer on time and pray nawafil as much as you can. And the best advice before the end of the program, frequent fasting. I know that in London you get to fast like for over 20 hours because the Maghrib time is very late and the Fajr is very early. May Allah help you guys. I just returned and I found it very difficult, but may Allah give you help. Fasting is advised by the Prophet ﷺ in order to decrease that evil desire and the shahwa. He said, O young men, if you can get married, if you can afford it, get married. If you can't, then adhere to fasting. It is the best means of protection. If I were you, I would speak to my dad or to my mom that I want to get married. 18 is a marriageable age. I understand that in London, in the UK, 16 is the legal age of marriage. So if there is a good person, a good candidate, speak to the imam, speak to your family members, get married. That is the ultimate solution to this problem. And hopefully, inshallah, I hope inshallah one day we'll invite a psychiatrist in order also to handle this from a psychiatric point of view.